Being single after 60, a quiet house, a cold bed, does that feeling resonate with you? Many people experience loneliness, sadness, and even self-doubt when they don't have a partner by their side. You might wonder if you still have the charm, if the beauty of youth still matters, or if you'll ever find the right person to start anew. These thoughts and worries are far from rare. Then, this video is made especially for you. For those who find themselves single after 60, whether by choice, circumstance, or the painful loss of a partner, this question takes on a new urgency. Society often tells us that being alone at this stage means missing out on the fullness of life. But what if the truth is quite the opposite? I'm Vernon, and today I want to share with you the wisdom gained from decades of personal experience and the journeys of many others who have walked this path before us. Staying single after 60 can open doors to parts of life you may never have imagined. In this video, I will share 5 transformative ways that being single after 60 can reshape not only your daily life, but also your very sense of self. I especially encourage you to stay with me through the 4th insight. It might completely change how you see your relationships and your future. Throughout history, philosophers and sages have reminded us that solitude, far from being empty, is often the fertile ground where our truest selves grow and flourish. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new insights on embracing life after 60 with joy and wisdom. Now, let's explore together how life as a single person after 60 need not mean loneliness, but can instead lead to the deepest connection with yourself and the world around you. Transformation number 1. Freedom's unexpected gifts. I will start this point with Helen Mirren, the legendary actress now in her 70s. She perfectly exemplifies the freedom that comes with a long, fulfilling, single life. Having never married, she has spent decades exploring her true self and living on her own terms, free from societal expectations about marriage or family. This freedom has allowed her to pursue acting passions, form deep friendships, and create a life rooted in authenticity rather than obligation. Her story shows that freedom is not just the ability to choose, it's the opportunity to rediscover and trust yourself fully. This freedom extends beyond daily choices to reshape your entire life. Research from the University of California shows that adults over 60 who live independently report higher levels of daily satisfaction, especially regarding autonomy in decision-making. No longer needing to harmonize schedules, compromise on finances, or negotiate household matters, many find a profound sense of liberation. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, who cherished solitude, observed, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he doesn't love solitude, he will not love freedom. For it is only when he is alone that he is really free." This new freedom often coincides with financial stability. By 60, many have reached peak earnings or secured retirement income. Managing finances alone often simplifies decision-making and opens doors to personal exploration that was once difficult. To embrace this freedom, start small. Identify what truly excites you and take intentional steps to explore it. Build new routines that reflect your values and passions, and allow yourself the grace to grow into this new phase of life with curiosity and confidence. Pause and write down 3 things you've always wanted to do but put aside due to others' expectations. Imagine what it would feel like to pursue these desires with your wisdom and resources. Share one in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take their first step toward authentic living. Transformation number 2. The authentic self emerges in solitude. As we age, something remarkable happens to our sense of self. a phenomenon psychologists call the crystallization of authenticity. Research by Dr. Susan Krauss-Whitborn at the University of Massachusetts shows that adults in their 60s and beyond care significantly less about external validation than younger people. Simply put, we stop worrying so much about what others think. This newfound freedom creates the perfect space for authentic living, especially for those who are single. Without the compromises that even the healthiest relationships demand, you can align your daily choices with your true values and preferences. It's a time to reconnect with parts of yourself that may have been sidelined by roles and responsibilities. This deepening self-awareness fosters confidence and encourages you to prioritize what genuinely brings you joy and meaning. I experienced this shift firsthand when I moved into my own apartment at 64 after my wife passed away 6 years ago. For the first time in decades, I chose every piece of furniture without compromise. I painted the walls the shade of green I loved but never dared use before. And perhaps most surprisingly, I began writing poetry again, something I hadn't done since my 20s. It wasn't for publication or praise, it was simply for me. That act alone felt like reclaiming a quiet, essential piece of who I am. The philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson captured this perfectly. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. After 60, that accomplishment becomes more achievable than ever. Research from Stanford Center on Longevity suggests that this growing authenticity significantly boosts emotional well-being in later life. When we release the pressure to conform, we experience less anxiety and greater peace. To cultivate this authenticity, start by giving yourself permission to explore your interests without guilt. Try new hobbies, express your personal style, and set boundaries that honor your true self. Surround yourself with people who celebrate you for who you are, not who they expect you to be. In embracing this authentic self, you not only honor the journey you've traveled, but also open the door to a richer, more fulfilling chapter ahead, one defined not by others' expectations, but by the truest expression of who you are. Transformation number 3. Purposeful living beyond traditional roles. For many, a sense of purpose has long been tied to roles as partners, parents, or caregivers. When these relationships end, whether through divorce, death, or simply never forming, we can feel adrift, as if the foundation of our identity has shifted or even disappeared. Importantly, being single after 60 doesn't necessarily mean you are recently widowed or divorced. Many have remained single by choice or circumstance from earlier in life, facing unique opportunities and challenges in crafting purpose. This third transformation invites you to create a purpose rooted not in societal or relational expectations, but in your own values and passions. Take my colleague Diane as an example. After divorcing at 63, following 35 years of marriage, she confronted a profound question of identity. Her journey led her to volunteer in literacy programs for migrant communities, a passion she'd long held but never pursued fully. Diane now finds fulfillment not as someone's wife, but as someone actively making a difference on her own terms, experiencing an authentic purpose that resonates deeply. Research in The Gerontologist supports Diane's discovery. Defining purpose through intrinsic values rather than external roles strongly correlates with greater life satisfaction in older adults. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of family-based purpose, but rather expands the possibilities for meaning in later life. The ancient Roman philosopher Cicero once wrote that elder years should be devoted to self-cultivation and service to others, a reminder that regardless of circumstance, a purposeful life is always within reach when oriented toward growth and contribution. To embrace this transformation in your own life, Begin by reflecting on what truly matters to you, beyond the roles you've played. Engage in activities that resonate with your passions, or explore new avenues that align with your core values. Setting small, achievable goals grounded in personal meaning can ignite a renewed sense of purpose and direction. If this message resonates, don't hesitate to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more reflections on living fully and authentically at every stage of life. Remember, the freedom to choose, the authenticity to be yourself, and the courage to pursue meaningful purpose form a powerful triad for flourishing beyond traditional expectations. Now we come to perhaps the most surprising transformation, one that challenges common cultural assumptions about single life after 60. Transformation number 4. Creating your chosen family. Far from leading to isolation, staying single often results in richer, more diverse social connections than those experienced by many of your coupled peers. This shift reflects a deeper human need, not just for companionship, but for meaningful, authentic connections that resonate with our evolving identities. By stepping outside traditional family structures, many singles find the freedom to form relationships that are more intentional and fulfilling. This insight aligns with research from the University of Chicago, which found that single adults over 60 tend to maintain more varied social networks than their married counterparts. Without the tendency to socialize primarily with other couples, singles often create what sociologists call chosen families, networks of deep connection based on shared values, interests, and mutual support rather than traditional family ties. The Greek philosopher Aristotle identified 3 types of friendship: those based on utility, pleasure, and virtue, the highest form being rooted in mutual respect and appreciation of character. In later life, single individuals often naturally gravitate toward friendships of virtue, cultivating bonds of remarkable depth and meaning. Actress and activist Jane Fonda, who is never married, and in her 80s, actively nurtures a close circle of friends and collaborators who form her chosen family. Her life exemplifies how a rich social network built on shared passions and values can provide emotional fulfillment and resilience beyond traditional family structures. Another, Sarah, my sister, a 72-year-old woman, shares a similar story. She hosts a Thursday night dinner group of 5 single women who support each other through health struggles, housing changes, and the loss of loved ones. They're closer than many biological families. They chose each other, and there's something truly powerful in that. These chosen families offer something that couples sometimes miss: the freedom to be fully known and valued as an individual, rather than as half of a pair. Poet Rainer Maria Rilke captured this beautifully. The highest task of a bond between 2 people is that each should stand guard over the solitude of the other. In chosen families, independence is respected, and genuine connection thrives. To begin building your own chosen family, start by engaging deeply with your passions and interests. Join clubs, volunteer, or attend community events that align with your values. True connections often form naturally when you pursue what genuinely excites you, rather than forcing relationships. Remember, the bonds you cultivate this way can become your strongest support network, authentic, resilient, and profoundly sustaining. Transformation number 5. The journey of self-rediscovery. The journey of self-discovery after 60 is less about finding something new and more about peeling back the layers to reveal who you truly are beneath decades of roles, expectations, and compromises. It's an excavation of the self, where hidden passions, forgotten dreams, and authentic desires resurface with clarity and purpose. Dr. William Thomas, a leading gerontologist and advocate for elderhood, highlights this unique phase of life. At 20, we worry about what others think of us. At 40, We don't care what they think of us. At 60, we realize they haven't been thinking about us at all. This insight frees us to embrace our true selves, unbound by external approval. This awakening invites us to revisit interests left behind, whether it's returning to an old hobby, exploring new creative outlets, or simply honoring the parts of ourselves we neglected. My friend Bonnie, for example, began painting again after decades away from the canvas. She's not the person she was in college, and that's what makes the process so rewarding, watching the new her emerge from all she's experienced. Self-rediscovery can also surface difficult truths on desires, regrets, and what-ifs. Carl Jung captured this evolution beautifully. We cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. What once defined us may no longer fit, and this realization is the key to rewriting the script for our later years. This period offers an extraordinary chance to craft a life that truly reflects your deepest self. According to research from the Stanford Center on Longevity, adults engaging in such introspective exploration report higher emotional well-being and mental flexibility compared to those who cling to past patterns. To nurture this rediscovery, begin by carving out regular moments of quiet reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting with your thoughts. Allow yourself to explore new interests without judgment or pressure to succeed. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth and celebrate your evolving identity. This journey isn't about perfection or arriving at a final destination. It's about continuous growth and embracing the unfolding story of who you are becoming. Conclusion. We've explored 5 transformative ways that staying single after 60 can reshape your life. The freedom to make choices based solely on your own preferences. The emergence of your authentic self. The development of purpose beyond traditional roles. The creation of chosen family. And the journey of self-rediscovery. These transformations aren't guaranteed simply by virtue of being single. They require courage, intentionality, and sometimes guidance. But the single life after 60 provides uniquely fertile ground for this kind of growth. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard wrote that the most common form of despair is not being who you are. In these later decades, particularly for those navigating them alone, we have perhaps our greatest opportunity to overcome this particular form of despair, to finally become who we truly are. Whether you've been single for decades or are newly alone through circumstance or choice, I hope you'll approach this chapter with curiosity rather than resignation. The unmarked path often reveals the most extraordinary vistas. I'll leave you with this thought from the poet Mary Oliver. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? After 60, single or not, this question takes on new urgency and possibility. The answer is yours to discover. This journey offers deep insights worth embracing. Don't forget to like, share this video with someone who could benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more meaningful reflections on living fully and authentically after 60. I believe you deserve many more profound lessons to navigate a fulfilling later life. Be sure to explore the thoughtful videos I've linked in the description, especially the one titled, Remarrying After 60? 5 Truths You Must Know Before Saying I Do Again, for deeper insights and inspiration on this journey.